keep hearing this creaking sound.
Manny, it's an old house.
Big boy!
Hey! I love when people do that. It feels so good. Okay, I can't tell you how many oh hell no's I heard when I was watching this. Probably half came from me. But what does it feel like when you create something that invokes or like gets people to say things out loud in the movie?
That was by design.
That was literally by design, because we had so many conversations where we're like, Deon, yeah, we don't see. I feel like if the person does this, and people are kind of gonna be like, and he's like, no, that's the point. This is that moment where you want the audience to go, girl, what are you doing, or whatever it is. And so once you give yourself over to that and accept like this is what that moment's supposed to be, then you can kind of live with it and have fun, and then just find the truth of how you actually get to that moment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's always a good way to tell whether or not the audience is asleep.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, if people are really engaged, they're gonna have a visceral reaction and kind of outburst where it's like, what are you doing? No.
And like I swore you guys could hear me. I was like, this girl over here.
Right. But you have the luxury of sitting in your seat and watching this happen versus being in that scenario. And that's why it's always more interesting, you know, as an actor to kind of play these things, because here's the reality. What would you do if someone came up to you and said something derogatory to your face? You don't really know. Yeah. Right. Until it happens. And so you don't know what you would do if some guy like Charlie, who honestly, and I was just saying this, Dennis, to her, he seems like the nicest guy in the world, just a little bit lonely. But to me, you see that as an audience member and you're like, yeah, he ain't no good.
Yeah. Right. You see past.
Yeah, you see past the facade. And you see
the good.
Right. Right. So I think that's what's kind of fun about this one for me.
What's been your guys' go-to move? You hear a noise in the middle of the night. What's your natural reaction?
Where are my kids? I gotta get my babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go get them babies.
I just get a knife. If I get like nervous, I literally sit up and I listen and I'm like, what's going on? And then sometimes I have a knife under my bed, just in case. Yeah.
I got one right next to my bed.
I do.
Has Devon ever like awakened to you holding the said knife? Okay, good.
As long as you're protected, that's all. But I definitely do the wait. Hold on, wait, what is that? Oh my God, did I leave the door open? So you get like very scared.
That's true, yeah.
And this movie made me so, like, it was on the edge of my seat. What's the takeaway that you want, like, what's the lesson you think people are gonna learn after this?
Listen to your husband.
I should have known.
Yes, he was saying that since day 2
I
on
was saying
set.
that since day 2 on set. You know what this movie's about, right? Listen to your man.
Listen to your man.
Listen to your man. I try to tell you. I think one of the beautiful things about this film is that it is, you know, we take that home buying experience, which is something that if you're blessed to go through it, you're achieving the American dream. We just turn it on its head. You know, and there's no special effects. There's nothing outrageous about it. It could happen to you. It could happen to me. It could happen to her. It could happen to him. And ultimately, you know, you take this thing that should be a massive achievement in your life, and you make it a nightmare.
Right.
A nightmare. And that to me is something I hope everybody just walks away. It's just how close they are to having this happen to them, and how terrifying it is.
I can't tell you how many times I heard, oh, hell no.
I'm talking to the camera. I've just been telling people, I went to the thing and I'm seeing it and I'm going like, oh my God, are you crazy? This is crazy. I seen a dude bigger than me, 6'6", 270. He was like, oh, she tripping in the theater. And everybody was like, oh my God, is he in the movie? And I remember going like, if you could affect him, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then, you know, you see the women in there covering their eyes. And man, I'm so excited for this movie and I'm so happy about it. And I'm telling you, man, just been truly blessed, like really blessed. You know that? Like really blessed, man, because when you do these things independently, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There is no tomorrow. You know, a lot of people don't really understand. They're like, oh yeah, you just made a movie and then you, like, no. First of all, the hardest part is to get a movie made by yourself. And then the second part is how do you get it out? And everything about this movie was manifested through faith.
I love that.
And it was just an incredible ride, man. And calling Michael Ealy, getting his number from someone, texting Meagan, not knowing her.
Yeah.
Writing a letter to Dennis Quaid.
It seems so effortless, though.
It does.
It does. You made it seem that way.
Yeah, until you sitting there like, I wonder if they're gonna write back, like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna say. And yeah, we put all this stuff together, man. You know, just by ourselves, and had no money. You know, I just had a really good vision and understood what I wanted to make, and knew how to move the camera, and wanted to make a movie that could be a classic. You know, for us. And it was until Jordan Peele recently did it. It's like people think, oh yeah, we made this movie. We were shooting last, you know, before all the hype.
Yes.
You know, I was like, man, it'd be really, really dope to just put some brown people in a dope thriller. We don't get that. And the ones we get, I felt like they're so watered down. They're so studio driven where you're like, okay, I knew that ending. You know what I mean? I knew what they were gonna do. And there's so many dope elements to The Intruder. Flawed characters, a marriage and a relationship that's being tested and broken. You know what I mean? We push the boundaries at the end of the movie. And the end, which I won't give away, people are like, yo, did that just happen? And I'm like, yeah, that just happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you end a movie.
Yes.
And it's great.
Well, congratulations, because again, there were so many like physical reactions that didn't just come from the came from me too, because I was
That's
like,
good.
this girl will be killed.
That's great.
But I loved it. Had so much fun. Thank you so much. It's such a
Man,
pleasure to meet you.
Let me tell you why I love Big Boy.
Tell me.
I love Big Boy because he's an independent man. I love everything he stands for. And most recently, when you guys had the thing with Kodak,
Yes.
I just thought, you know, I'm an independent director. I'm an independent film owner. Like, this movie was independent. Sometimes, man, you got to remember there are codes to life. And it's not about being Hollywood or always being liked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do what the human thing is supposed to be done, you
Yes.
know? And I just love when Big Boy came out and made the statement he did at that time, because he reminded everybody, like, hey, man, this is real life.
Yes.
It's not no game, like no Instagram game. This is real life.
Real families were
And
affected.
it just made me an even bigger fan of Big Boy and what he stands for, and he's just iconic, man. So Big Boy, if you ever see this interview with little old me, I'm a gigantic fan, man, of everything you do, brother. Seriously.
I'm gonna make sure he does. I'm
Please,
gonna make sure.
yeah,
make
that's
sure.
dope.
Lights out! Henry!
It's okay. Okay, we not dying, okay?
Everything I do for us.